Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2014 NFL Draft Team Needs Analysis, and this video is for the San Diego Chargers, who in the first year of the Mike McCoy era finished with a record of 9-7, qualifying as the second wild card in the AFC. At the time I'm taping this video, guys, they're gearing up for their divisional round playoff matchup at Denver. And, when you look at a team like San Diego, I think their fans have a lot to be excited about because they qualified for the playoffs. Your quarterback had a career rebirth. And there's still lots of area of improvement that this team can make. And when I start where they can improve, I go to the offensive side of the ball and in the interior of that offensive line, and most notably at the guard spot. When you have Jeremy Clary, underperforming this season. You also have Chad Reinhardt, who's an unrestricted free agent, who saw a lot of snaps at guard this year as well. Him probably be moving on and not getting re-signed. You have Johnny Troutman, who split a lot of the snaps with Reinhardt this year as well. I look at the ability for them to be able to upgrade on all three of those guys, on Clary, Troutman, and Reinhardt. They can definitely get a lot better at those guard spots, and think about how much better that interior running game would be with Ryan Matthews, all right, if they were able to upgrade both those guard spots via free agency in the draft. You already have a solid center in Hardwick, and then you have King Dunlap, who, this Chargers coaching staff, this new staff has gotten a lot out of him that I know a lot of people in the NFL didn't even think he had in him. And, of course, you have DJ Fluker, who they drafted last year, who's showing a lot of promise at the other tackle spot. So you improve those guard spots, you have a heck of an offensive line to go along with a physical running back and, again, a quarterback in Phillip Rivers that's having a little bit of a rebirth. And all of a sudden, you have just a fantastic offense, even more so than they were this year. So offensive guard can definitely be upgraded in the draft. Then I go to the defensive side of the ball, and I look at that secondary. And in that secondary, I see a good safety tandem in Eric Weddle, of course, and Marcus Gilchrist. But they can certainly improve their coverage at the cornerback spot. When you look at guys, Derek Cox comes to mind, who's underperformed. Richard Marshall, who is underperformed. You can at least build depth, but maybe even get a starter quality guy in the draft at cornerback if they're willing to go corner in the second round, maybe even the first round, because this is a very deep cornerback draft, so maybe they don't have to go for one in the first round. Maybe they can get a really good guy in the second. But that cornerback spot is definitely a place that can be improved, either from a starter day one perspective again or a depth perspective. And lastly, if I were them, I'd look at an outside linebacker if I'm the Chargers, a guy to be able to get after the passer in that 3-4 defense that they play. If you look, the Corey Lugitt, the defensive lineman, led the Chargers with 6 sacks this year. And, 6 sacks. I mean, that for a guy to lead a team with only 6 sacks just shows that it's indicative of the fact that the Chargers did not have a very good pass rush. And when you look at their pass, defense statistics, I think it bears that out. This day and age in the NFL, the secondary can only do so much with the rules. They need, especially an average secondary, they need help from the front seven as far as getting after the quarterback. And although that linebacking core was overall okay this year for San Diego, no real dynamic kind of pass rusher from the outside to speak of. I know those guys are hard to find. I know, especially in free agency, if you want to go get one, they cost a lot of money. But maybe they can, this is a franchise that spent a lot of picks on outside linebackers here in the last decade. But I think they need to go back to the well and hopefully find a guy in the middle rounds, maybe a little bit under the radar, that they can plug in there and develop at that outside linebacker spot. So again, for the Chargers, the interior of the offensive line first and foremost, depth or starters at the cornerback position, and an outside linebacker that either comes in as a pass rusher or that they can develop into one from that outside linebacker spot. Guys, let me know how you see the Chargers' needs, positions I missed, guys you would like to see them get possibly. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm doing a video like this for all 32 NFL teams. Also covering the playoffs wall-to-wall and the entire NFL offseason. So if you like the NFL, this is really your channel. So join the conversation. Be sure to subscribe. And have a great night.